You know, every destination has a story. But what if the best way to tell it wasn't with a flashy slogan, but with open, reliable data? Today, let's dive into a huge shift happening in tourism, moving away from temporary marketing campaigns and toward permanent data stewardship.
So, take a look at this. On one side, you've got the old way, slogans and campaigns that just fizzle out when the budget's gone. But on the other side, you have the new way, building a lasting digital foundation with things like APIs and open data. See, the old way is all about chasing visibility. The new way, it's about building real, continuous value.
So, what happens when that marketing promise doesn't quite match up with reality? Well, the Stockholm Archipelago Trail, a project that was supposed to be this amazing hiking experience, gives us a perfect and kind of painful example of this marketing mirage.
Okay, so imagine you're a hiker. You've been promised all these new amenities. The government ordered 8 new barbecue areas and 11 shelters. But, as one person online asked, but where are they? And that's exactly where things start to fall apart. A promise was made in a brochure, but the reality on the trail was, well, an empty clearing where a shelter was supposed to be.
And this kind of disconnect, it creates some very real frustration. The project slogan was, "We shall be surprised." Oh, and people were surprised, all right? Just not in the way the marketers had hoped. One person put it pretty bluntly. Yes, we are surprised how stupidly tax money is wasted. And honestly, that's what happens when your marketing is totally detached from what you can actually deliver.
So what's the real root cause here? This comment just hits the nail on the head. The funding goes to data silos. Think about it. Every single piece of information, where the shelters are, the ferry schedules, if the water pumps are working, it's all locked away in its own little box. A PDF over here, a spreadsheet over there. There's no single connected source of truth. And the big question is, why?
The answer to that why is all about building a totally new foundation. Instead of just funding these isolated marketing projects, we need to invest in an open data infrastructure. And you know, this isn't some crazy new idea. The technology and the principles to do this have actually been around for decades.
At the very heart of this solution is something called a Geographic Information System, or GIS. And trust me, you've used one. If you've ever pulled up a map app on your phone, you've used the GIS. It's basically the engine that lets us handle all kinds of geographic data, from the route of a trail to the exact location of a water tap. It's the tech that can power a much, much smarter destination.
And I mean it when I say this isn't new tech. The first GIS was developed way back in 1962. By the 80s, it was already pretty widespread. So the point is, the tools to solve these problems have been sitting right in front of us for a long time. The real challenge isn't the technology. It's about changing our mindset and our policies. And the good news is, policy is starting to catch up. The European Union's Open Data Directive brings up this really important concept of high-value data sets. The definition here is key. These are data sets that have significant benefits for society. We're talking about things like maps, transport networks, weather data. The whole idea is that this crucial information shouldn't be locked away. It needs to be open, accessible, and super easy for anyone to reuse.
You know, this new way of doing things, it requires a completely different role for destination managers. It's a huge shift in thinking, from trying to own and control information to becoming responsible stewards of it for everyone's benefit. Okay, so don't try to read every single word on this chart, but this blueprint shows what good data stewardship actually looks like. The key themes that pop out are policy, governance, and technology. It's all about creating a culture of transparency, working together, and building trust so that people know the data they're using is solid.
And that really gets to the heart of it. Stewardship isn't about ownership, it's about accountability. It means managing public information using open standards and clear, transparent processes. That way, everyone, from a local coffee shop to a hiker on the trail, can build on it with total confidence. All right, so we've talked about the problem, and we've talked about the solution. But what's the actual payoff? What's the real tangible benefit of doing all this? Well, as it turns out, it's massive.
Get this. According to a report from Lantmäteriet, which is Sweden's mapping agency, the potential value of just opening up Sweden's high-value datasets is somewhere between 10 and 21 billion kronor. And that's not a one-time thing. That's annually. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a dividend you get every single year from investing in open infrastructure.
So if you're wondering where all that value comes from, take a look at this. It's not just one area. We're talking billions in value for key sectors like construction and ICT. See, open data fuels innovation across the entire economy, making everything from building new roads to running public services way more effective.
So let's go back to our hiker on the trail one last time. In this new, data-driven world, their map is alive. It's pulling in ferry schedules in real time. It shows them which water taps are actually working today. It has the correct, up-to-date locations of those shelters. And by using linked data, all this info can show up in different languages, automatically. And hey, if they spot a problem, they can report it through one simple, direct channel. Finally, the promise actually matches the reality.
So, we've seen how focusing just on marketing can lead to frustration, while committing to data stewardship builds trust and creates incredible value. And all of this leads us to a powerful, new way of thinking about what a destination really is.
And here it is, the big takeaway. Our experience of a place is now totally shaped by its digital information. The quality and the openness of that information literally determines the quality of our experience. The data isn't just about the place anymore. In a very real way, the data is the destination.
So, that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Think about your city, your favorite trail, your region. Is its data telling a story of closed-off silos and broken promises? Or is it telling a story of openness, reliability, and shared value for everyone? What story is your destination's data telling?